I ran a poll asking what viewers wanted to see more of on this channel, and the answer was more affordable home gym options. Well, we have a resistance training, connected fitness, sub $200 option here. Let's break it down. But first, let's introduce this. This is the LIT Access, a resistance band connected fitness, adapt to anything workout solution. Put it to a door, put it around a tree, brace it to just about anything, or use your own body weight. You're gonna be able to make this thing work. But then it has trackers in it that communicate to your phone through a smart app, giving you content and all sorts of stuff to motivate you, but give you a connected fitness experience. So let's cover everything this thing's got going, and I'll tell you if it's worth the cost. So first thing you gotta do is set this thing up, and it is incredibly easy. Download the app to your tablet or phone. You pull on this, it will activate the sensors, and you can sync them to your phone or tablet. From there, you have to put this where you want it. I've been using a door and it has worked extremely well. But again, you can strap it to just about anything, or there are a lot of exercises where you just use your own body weight standing on it and things like that. And then you just select the content and go. It is very easy to set up and get going. Moving on to variety and the ways you can use this. And to be honest, when I think of resistance bands, I do not associate it with variety. Because a lot of times you stand on it, you wrap it around your body, there are certain movements you can do, but you're limited. But because of this, with its ball bearing design, you are able to hook this at different spots in the door, meaning the resistance comes from different angles, giving you all sorts of workouts. You can also stand on it for different workouts, and they also have the handles, but also ankle straps, so there are a lot of moves, and you can work out your whole body well, and the content does guide you through this well. So there is a lot of ways to use this for being a relatively simple design. Something that can be a concern when you spend less is if it's a quality build, and I can say this feels like a great option. These right here, when you change the resistance bands, they just twist, pop off, you put them back on, twist, and it just snaps in tight. It just feels like a good build. The plastic doesn't feel cheap, the clips don't feel cheap, things aren't fraying, the resistance bands are holding up well. It just seems like a very quality build, so I've been very happy with that. Hope you're finding this video helpful, and if you are, please consider tossing a like. Thank you. Moving on to the content, and for a $10 a month subscription, I thought it was really good. They had a lot of different modes, so they have classes, programs, and if you don't want an instructor, they have an open gym mode that will just flow you through exercises, and they were very enjoyable. They were laid out well, they flowed well, and it was produced at a high level. Again, for a $10 a month subscription, it was really quite impressive. Now, I will say, I didn't enjoy just using it on my phone. The screen is too small. I have to look, figure out what they're doing, put it down, sometimes pause it, play it, things like that, and I didn't like that flow. But as soon as I cast it to a TV, the experience was very enjoyable, and the casting did work really well. So I'd recommend casting to a TV or maybe a tablet. A phone's kind of small. You can make it work, but not as ideal as the other options. Bells and whistles. And again, for a $10 a month subscription, they did a really good job, and I was really impressed. It feels like you get a lot for a little. Now on the screen, you have total time under tension, total amount lifted, and you can see the tension on each band. So each one of these sensors is reporting and giving you live information, so you know the resistance numbers. So there's a lot of data to look at, and this is what takes it from just content and feeling like you're just doing something on your TV to an interactive, connected fitness experience. Makes it a lot more motivational, enjoyable, and gives you things to pay attention to. So they did a very good job, and I very much liked it. But it is not perfect, and here are some things you should consider. Resistance bands are not my preference when it comes to resistance training. They're probably not going to help you add a lot of muscle, and they have a bit of a rubber band feeling to them, and I don't personally prefer that. And if you're a person that wants to know exactly what you're doing, say 20-pound curls and you're trying to get to 25, with this, it's a little bit more of a guessing game. Another thing is that changing resistance bands is extremely easy, but a little time consuming. It takes away from the flow. You have to disconnect one side, then you have to come to the other side, unclip that, get your other resistance band, put it back in, get it back on the wall. There's just a bit of a flow interruption there. And if you have to go get your phone and pause it while you're trying to do that, then get it set up, then get your phone, unpause it, it just breaks up that flow that you sometimes want with exercising. But I found that I just stay with the same weight, and it makes it a lot easier to flow through the exercises. So you just might need to know what you're gonna be doing if you're really gonna be jumping around in weights. But I was able just to add tension and make it work at the one I was at for most exercises in the grouping I was doing. So not a huge deal, but something to consider. And my last item here is that every lift might not be ideal. I was doing bent over rows, and because I have long arms, there wasn't resistance in the bands until I got 3 or 4 inches into the lift. Now there are ways to get around most of this or do other workouts, but it is something I ran into. It's rare, but it might be something you have to work around here and there. But to summarize my experience up, I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would. I am not a resistance band guy, but with this, I was able to move the anchor points around and get all sorts of different lifts in, so I had a lot of variety. Between the handles and the ankle braces, I was able to do a lot of different exercises that engaged my muscles in different ways, and it challenged me way more than I thought it would. My muscles were actually fatigued. I could tell that it was a good quality resistance train. Now there may be other options if you're gonna get serious, but it actually really pushed my muscles while also having a big cardio impact at the same time. It was a very balanced exercise. But then you throw in the fact that you have all that content, the bells and whistles that are built into it, you have a good all-around connected fitness experience, but what is a really affordable option? At well under $200 as of right now, and only $10 a month for the subscription, you get a lot for a little. So if you're looking for a motivational, well-rounded, connected fitness, technology meets exercise option without breaking the bank, this is worth considering. And if what you're looking to get out of exercise matches what I've been talking about, you might be very impressed by this. And if you're thinking this is the option for you, don't click away yet, because Lit Method has offered my audience 15% off. Just use Travis15 at checkout at litmethod.com. But please consider liking, subscribing, you know the deal. Until next time, here's to a healthier you, and have a good one.